Hello students, today we have to start our next chapter of science, that is the combustion and flame. So in this chapter we have to learn about the process of the combustion and the different types of the flames that we will obtain on burning the different types of the substances in the form of a fuel. Clear? So we use different kinds of fuel for various purposes at home, in industry and for running automobiles. Can you name a few fuels used in our homes? Name a few fuels used in trade and industry. What fuels are used for running automobiles? So in homes we are using at present LPG. Clear? But in previous times, most often the first choice of the people should be wood, coal and kerosene oil. Clear? But nowadays it is replaced by LPG, and in running the automobiles like light and heavy vehicles, we are using petrol and diesel nowadays. Clear? And your list will contain fuels like cow dung, wood, coal, charcoal, petrol, diesel, compressed natural gas, etc. Clear? So you are familiar with the burning of a candle. You know that when we are enlightening the candle, that there is the formation of a flame. What is the difference between the burning of a candle and burning of a fuel like coal? Maybe you were able to guess right that candle burn with a flame, but whereas coal does not give any flame on burning. Coal generally glow as a red hot but never show flame. Clear? So similarly you will find many other materials burning without a flame. Let us study the chemical process of burning and the type of flame produced during this process. Firstly, we will need to know about the process of the combustion. After that, we can explain in detail the chemical process of burning and types of the flame that are produced during this process. So what is combustion? Recall the activity of burning of magnesium ribbon performed in 7th class. At that time, you have learned that magnesium burn to form magnesium oxide, that when we are taking the reaction between magnesium in presence of oxygen, we are supplying heat, it will produce magnesium oxide. Clear? MgO. So we can perform, so we learned that magnesium burn to form magnesium oxide and produces heat and light. We can perform a similar activity with a piece of charcoal. Hold the piece with a pair of tongues and bring it near the flame of a candle or a Bunsen burner. What do you observe? We find that charcoal burns in air. We know that coal too burn in air, producing carbon dioxide, heat and light energy. So in this figure, you can easily visualize the burning of magnesium. On burning the magnesium ribbon in air, it will going to produce magnesium oxide. This process is known as the process of combustion because of the release of the heat and light energy. A chemical process in which a substance reacts with oxygen to give off heat is called combustion. The substance that undergoes combustion is said to be combustible substance, and it is also called a fuel. Clear? Means all the substances that combust in air or burn in air with the emission of heat or light are called combustible substances, or also known as fuel. The fuel may be solid, liquid or gas. Sometimes light is also given off during the combustion. either as a flame or as a glow. So in the reactions mentioned above, magnesium and charcoal are combustible substances. So we were told that food is a fuel for our body. Clear? Now we are learning about the different types of the fuels, because we need fuel for the process of the combustion. In a same way, you have already told in your previous classes by your teachers that for our body, what is working as a fuel? Food that provides us the energy. Clear? Because food is the source of the energy. During the process of the respiration, energy is restored in the form of the glucose in our body. Clear? After the breaking down of the food. Clear? Rightly so, in our body, food is broken down by reaction with oxygen and heat is produced. We learnt that in class 7th. Means, as normally we have seen that in the case of the combustion, that on reaction with the oxygen, the substance is burned to give heat and light energy. So in a same manner, when we are taking the food, it is when during the process of the respiration, when we inhale oxygen, it will helps in breaking down of a food. Clear? And on breaking down of the food, after reaction with oxygen, the next side products will be heat energy. And then the next activity, collect some materials like straw, matchsticks, kerosene oil, paper, iron nails, stone pieces, glass, etc. Under the supervision of your teacher, try to burn each of these material one by one. If combustion takes place, mark the material combustible, otherwise mark it non-combustible. Like I have already marked all the substances. You can also check it that wood always burn in air, that is the combustible substance. Paper always combust very easily whenever you set a fire near the paper, or by placing the paper on the flame, you can easily see that it will start burning. Iron nails never going to burn, that is the non-combustible. And kerosene oil, very combustible substance. Stone piece, non-combustible. Straw, combustible material. Charcoal, again combustible material. And then matchsticks, easily combustible. And glass, not combustible. So now, can you name some more substances which are combustible by your daily experiences? Let us investigate conditions under which the combustion takes place. So what are the conditions? As you know that the major condition for the combustion should be the presence of oxygen. Clear? So fix a lighted candle on a table, put a glass chimney over the candle and rest it on a few wooden blocks in such a way that air can enter the chimney. So in first case, that you can see very easily that here is the space from where air can enter into the container. So now observe that what happens to the flame. Now remove the blocks, means we have removed these blocks. Okay, that is the second figure. Again observe the flame. It will be not much stronger as in the first case, because the supply of the oxygen decreased in this case na. So finally put a glass plate over the chimney. We have covered the chimney properly. Watch the flame again. What happened in the three cases? Does the flame flicker off? Does it flicker and give smoke? Does it burn unaffected? Can you infer anything or at all about the role played by air in the process of burning? In first case, when there is the direct supply of oxygen, the material will going to burn very easily. So flame will be more stronger in this case, and after that it will start to flicker. And in last case, when we have put the wooden plate, then the flame will totally extinguish because of the negligible supply of the oxygen here. Clear? So because of the totally cut of the oxygen supply, the flame will going to extinguish, because the first major condition for the combustion should be the supply of the oxygen. Clear? So we find that for combustion air is necessary. Candle burns freely in case A when air can enter the chimney from below. In case B, when air doesn't enter the chimney from below, the flame flickers and produces smoke. And in case C, the flame finally goes off because the air is not available. Clear? So till this activity you have to go through the chapter today. Next topic we will continue in our next lecture. Thank you.